very good afternoon. You're watching Lunchtime News on TV1. For the Newsfirst team, I'm UPFA. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for this afternoon.
President Maithripala says the European Union warned of GSP Plus being slashed if the death sentence is imposed on drug racketeers. Minister of Education Akhila Viraj Karyavasam appears before the police unit of the Presidential Commission. Sri Lanka will take on West Indies in their 8th match of the ICC Cricket World Cup.
Now on to a headline-making story. Minister of Education Akhila Viraj Karyavasam appeared before the police unit attached to the Presidential Commission appointed to investigate allegations of fraud and corruption at state institutions. The minister arrived to provide statements on the investigations currently being carried out for the printing the picture of the Education Minister and the message in school textbooks. The Presidential Commission informed the minister is currently providing the statement. Moving on to the next story, 4 people in the same family sustained severe injuries following an accident that occurred in Athagama, Kalthara, earlier this morning. The accident had occurred when a car collided into a wall. 4 people have travelled in the vehicle at the time of the accident and they have been admitted to the Colombo-based hospital. Father, mother and their children are currently receiving treatment at the hospital. The car was severely damaged due to the accident, and the cause of the accident was due to the driver falling asleep on the wheel. Meanwhile, the final conference of the National Drug Prevention Week is currently being held under the patronage of President Maithripala at Sugatadasa Stadium in Colombo. The Drug Prevention Week, which was implemented on the 23rd of June under the direction of President Maithripala, ended yesterday. The attendees undertook a drug-free pledge at the event.
මාගේ උපරිම ශක්තිය හා කැපවීම යොදමින් කටයුතු කරන බවට මේන් ප්‍රතිඥා දෙමි.
මේ මතට විරුද්ධව සටන තමයි ඒක එක කොටස.
This is the fight against drugs. Part of it was initiated on the 8th of January 2015. This fight against drugs was initiated when he was the Minister of Health. When the 80% pictorial warning was implemented, he was brought before the courts before the president who was in power during that time. The past election is the only election where drugs and medicine was brought up on the mainstream political stage. We have already completed 20 steps out of 22 to limit the use of cigarettes. We will implement the rest very soon. We are the first country in the world to implement the charter against tobacco. Now they are trying to bring Chinese cigarettes to the island. The reason for this is legalizing stocks which are brought illegally. If those which are brought illegally are legalized, even drugs will have to be legalized. That is what the customs and police are there for. If these things take place, neither the president nor myself will be able to remain in such a government. So we are against any law which promotes drugs. We won't let anyone to drive us back from the progress we have made.
මේ මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ සම්පූර්ණ සහයෝගය දෙනවා. නමුත් ඒක ආපස්සට හරවන්න කිසි කෙනෙකුට අපි ඊට තියන්නේ නැහැ මතක තියාගන්න.
Moving on, a road in the Valsapagala area in Suryavava was developed and invested with the public yesterday.
The event was held under the auspices of General Secretary of the UPFA, Mahinda Amaravira. The discussions have reached the final stages. We hope to make those a success. We will discuss the suggestions that were sent after the meeting on Tuesday. We will act based on that. We are not hoping to separate. We want to work together. We are taking all the possible actions to do so. There are groups who say that. Those are the people who are hindering us joining together. Even we can say the same thing. But what would that achieve? Both parties would then lose and the victory will be with someone else. They are carrying out the contract of the UNP.
Now taking a look back at your local news, here are the views expressed by President Maithripala earlier today at the final conference of the National Drug Prevention Week.
You know that we have had some results in the fight against drugs. Along with those results, we also receive more challenges. The first reason as to why I am leading this movement is to save the children of this country. Recently, many people have started to speak up. Top figures in the government, leading figures in the opposition, ministers, MPs have begun to speak up. NGO representatives have started to speak up. Also, Parliament, international organizations have started to speak up. I must openly say that the European Union has said that we will not be given the GSP plus tax concession if we implement the death penalty. That is a threat. Threats are not good for a sovereign state. No one can interfere with the sovereignty of the state. They are the people who are against this. I heard a leading figure of the government saying that their party's policy is against the death penalty. If the policies of the party were implemented during the past 4 years, how much better would the country be right now? I saw that the opposition has said that they are against the death penalty, so do not implement it. I would like to ask a question from all of them, the members of the government, the opposition, members of international NGOs who interfere in state affairs and destroy the country. How have you helped in the fight against drugs, and what is the program that you have implemented? The people in the government who speak against the death penalty, what sort of support did you give to the anti-drug program that I implemented for the past 4 years? When the opposition was in power, what did you do to curb the spread of drugs? I was the health minister at that time, and when I submitted a cabinet paper to ban smoking cigarettes in public places, the chair of the meeting said that the tourism industry will collapse if we impose laws like that, because no foreigners will come to the country. But when I became president, I approved all of those laws. People who did not support this program at all, people who did not do one single thing to curb the spread of drugs, are speaking out against the death penalty and trying to portray me as a bad person. It is not myself, but the court that has handed down this verdict. All I'm doing is signing it. I am signing it because we must do it and give a message to society. The famous drug kingpins who were arrested by the CID, the TID and other units have revealed the names of politicians who were involved in smuggling drugs. How many politicians in the country are fulfilling their responsibilities to address the drug menace in the country? I won't talk about any other thing.
පාරඉන්න රාජ පොලිසිය භාරව ඉන්න ත්‍රස්ත විමර්ශනාංශවල ඉන්න ප්‍රසිද්ධ අපරාධකාරෝ ඔවුන්ගේ ප්‍රකාශවලින් කියවෙනවා මේ රටේ මත්ද්‍රව්‍ය ජාවාරම් වලට සම්බන්ධ දේශපාලඥයෝ කවුද කියලා පැහැදිලිව කියවෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒක නිසා දේශපාලඥයාගේ තිබිය යුතු තමාගේ වගකීම සහ යුතුයකම මේ රටේ දේශපාලඥයෝ කී දෙනෙක් ඉෂ්ට කරනවද මත්ද්‍රව්‍ය සම්බන්ධයෙන් මම අනික් ඒවා ගැන කතා කරන්නේ නැහැ.
Meanwhile, a media briefing to discuss on the future steps taken towards the Gamperaliya program was held yesterday. This was chaired by H.P. Thenakot, the chief organizer of the UNP electorate in Nicaragua.
No matter how much they tried, only a man from Nicaragua was appointed. All those who were appointed had to leave. Minister Johnston came here after spending a lot of money. He was able to come here because he was the former president's henchman. Apart from him, everyone else had to leave. We are working with the UNP candidate. There are 3 leaders in this party. The Prime Minister, Sajith Premadasa, Karu Jayasuriya. So according to what we have been informed, one from among them or a candidate from the United National Front will come forward. That's according to what Prime Minister said. The main party is the United National Party. We have been told that such a front will be formed. As I said before, that person will be appointed as an organizer of that front. That's what we were told. At an organizers meeting recently, I was asked to form the regional officers of the front and carry out other necessary activities.
And with that, it's a wrap of Lunchtime News. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Yuki Pasha. Take care and good day.